This piece of shit told me last week, hey, I know my birthday's next Tuesday, and, you're going on vacation. I don't want you to be worried about anything. Don't worry. I don't need anything for my birthday. And I have thought about that conversation this entire weekend. Because it's the one thing you as my friend knows that I celebrate my people on their birthdays.
That wasn't the point.
And it was like you trying to act like I wasn't going to.
I don't even like cookies. It wasn't that, I swear, but it did seem that way. My biggest concern was I know how uninvolved the other three are in the birthday process, being the one who
is also
planned yours. Yeah. And I was like, don't get a bunch of emails from these. I was afraid you're going to get a bunch of emails over the weekend like, are we doing anything?
No.
Or am I supposed to pick up anything?
No.
And I was like, I didn't want you to feel like you had to not enjoy your vacation.
I enjoyed it. I planned. You're having a birthday.
It started today. I got Amy and Lori brought me my third set of Kansas City Chiefs cutlery.
Cute.
Because that's what everyone gets me, and I love it. And an Annie Guns gift card, which was too much.
Oh, my.
I always feel weird about listeners getting me stuff if they spend too much. Like if it's something small, it's whatever. But if it's actual money spent, I always feel kind of weird about it.
It is strange. I agree. I'm wanting to start a no more gift. If you want to get me something, do this. and I want to redirect.
Donate.
I will always take a vintage T-shirt, like an actual vintage T-shirt. There's been a lot of people that have been like, "Oh, I got this vintage T-shirt," and it wasn't real. But I don't have the heart to be like, "This is not a fucking vintage. You got this at Kohl's." I would never do that to somebody. Yeah. But people give me like Fireball. I'm so fucking over it. I'm not even like drinking that much anymore.
You've had enough Fireball, yeah. You have enough Fireball to last you through the zombie apocalypse.
I do, and I have enough carcinogens in me now that I am glowing at night.
Yeah.
So, okay, should we start?
Josh is ready. He's probably been rolling this whole time.
No, we started right after the nose stuff.
All right, we'll edit out all the stuff about us not getting to talk.
Okay.
Okay. And 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Bam! We're here with a new episode of Rizz Show After Hours.
After Hours.
We can say whatever we want. And I'm here with my co-host and BFF, Lern Elwell. Clap. Yep, we're going to edit that in later.
Cool.
I don't have the soundboard here. I wanted to have you on today to talk to you about your trip, the Witches Excursion, the Head East, Salem, Massachusetts trip that you took this weekend.
Yes.
In detail.
Yeah.
I want to get into the nitty-gritty. I want to know, as a man of the woods and future aspiring Wiccan, as I'm starting to abandon all religion because of the state of the world we live in, I'm really interested in this trip.
Thank you for being interested and wanting to talk with me today, Rafe.
So we were talking before we started, and I told you to wait. So let's start with this. You started the trip in Boston.
In Boston.
Beantown.
Beantown. Is it Beantown? Is that what it's called?
It is Beantown, and I don't know why.
Boston baked beans.
Oh, that doesn't make sense. Now, you solved the mystery for me.
I don't consider it a beantown. I'm not a bean queen, so I don't want to necessarily affiliate Boston with beans because beans are something that I have kind of a weird relationship with. Love a kidney bean. Love a cannellini bean. Not so much on like a, I don't know. I do actually like beans. I like a barbecue bean. That you just can eat out of the can for breakfast with eggs.
Pork and bean.
Like a pork and bean.
It's in your DNA. I have seen a picture of you in a cabinet as a child.
Yes.
Surrounded by cans of pork and beans at your dad. It stands out in my mind, in fact. I remember this picture that you showed me at your dad's house in West Frankfort.
I played in cabinets.
You hid in cabinets.
Yeah.
You were a cabinet kid, and your dad's.
It was the 80s.
Your dad's house there was like 20 cans of pork and beans in there with you, and I was like, that is a very Southern Illinois photo.
He was a coal miner, and I was the coal miner's daughter, and I was playing with cans because it was 1985.
So you respect the bean, and we found out today you grind your own beans.
I do grind my own coffee beans. That's the way to be. That's the classiest thing about me, actually, is that I grind my own beans at home.
Did you notice an exorbitant amount of Dunkin'? Speaking of beans, because that's like the big Boston thing. It's like they're a Dunkin' Donuts town. That's where it originated. That's where Ben and Matt Damon talk about it.
I know. I did not see that many. I did see Dunkin', but I didn't see that many. In fact, the first coffee I saw was actually Starbucks. And that's how they say it. They say Starbucks.
You were really enjoying the Boston accent.
I was. I find it to be incredibly cute. And so women and men, I mean, I talked to everybody. And the amount of Starbucks and the ba and the ka, I felt like I was in Good Will Hunting or that I was in The Departed. And I just felt like I was in a movie and it was attractive to me. I don't know. And I know some people don't like it.
I think, yeah, it's like sour cream. I think it's you either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
Either find it sexy or it is completely a turnoff.
It
makes your ovaries or testicles shrink up inside.
My testicles were hanging low and they were excited about my experience. Yeah, it was great. So we flew into Boston. We got in at like 1:30 in the morning on, I guess, Friday morning because we were supposed to get in around 5, but our flight was delayed out of St. Louis for 7 hours. And it was a fucking disaster. And we got in late, but right as we got to the hotel, which we were staying at the Plaza, the Hilton Plaza, Park Plaza, right by the Boston Public Garden in the middle of the city. And my sister had booked that. She did a really good job. I want to give her a shout out. And it was
shout out
great.
to Emily and your bangs.
Shout out to my sister's new bangs and to Emily. And so we stayed there that night, just essentially ate pizza in bed, watched Big Daddy, fell asleep hard.
Okay.
All right. So that was
Big Daddy just on?
Yeah, it was on cable.
It's one of those great.
I know. And it just started. It was perfection.
It's always like one of those. When I'm staying in hotels, it's always like, what's on whatever TBS movie is going to put me to sleep that night.
Yes.
It's usually a Sandler film. Sometimes it's Transformers that I would never watch on my own.
Sometimes it's Weird Science.
Such great. I'm glad it was Big Daddy.
My sister had never seen Big Daddy either, which was exciting for me because I had a Big Daddy movie poster in my room growing up. So she remembered that. And she was like, because I've always loved Adam Sandler. And he is so cute in that movie because it's just he's playing himself.
Sure.
And Christy Swanson is there with her Hooters outfit. And I love it. And so I did not stay up long enough to see if she liked it or not. But I think she did stay up and watch it. And I completely passed out.
That'll be our next episode is Emily's review of Big Daddy. But today it's a spooky Salem spectacular. Yeah. So we're going to stay on that. One thing you did tell me before the cameras were rolling is that something you enjoyed about Boston was casual swearing. Yeah. Which you like.
I do.
We're both casual swearers.
We are. I liked that when a waiter at a nice table came up to me and was like, you want some goddamn bread? Like, that's cool to me.
He said, goddamn?
Yeah.
All right.
You know, I mean,
and it really went for it.
And then we kind of got it. And this was later in Swampscott where we were staying at the VRBO. But I mean, there were like $4 million homes. And like this guy was like, these fucking people. And I just thought, that's cool. That's cool to me that it's just a very casual play. And it didn't seem as abruptive as I think it can be sometimes in the Midwest when somebody says it.
It didn't feel abrasive. It just felt like part of the culture.
Yes. And I don't ever really, I don't say GD. That's not like a casual word for me.
Yeah.
So to hear it like so casual, it just, it was interesting. I liked all of the things.
I just imagined the F-bomb, like being like, the bread here's the fucking bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, just pick wherever the fuck you want to sit.
Ladies, the lobster roll is fucking crazy good. Like I just imagined.
Don't go down to that bar. That's shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine shit and fuck were probably the
all over. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed that. And you said something today that happened in Boston that I want to get a little deeper into. You told a Patriots fan that Tom Brady was mid.
I did.
What was the context of which you, one, felt obligated to share this info? Did you just find someone in a Patriots jersey on the street?
No.
And tell them?
He was a waiter. He was our guy. And he was very sweet. And of course, it was Sunday. And so my mom and him were talking, or no, it was Saturday. They were talking about Sunday football coming up. And my mom can talk sports with everybody and wanted to. Emily, my sister, started talking about being like a Browns or a Broncos fan. I can't even remember. I don't really have much to add to the conversation. And I don't have much to add. So the best I could do was essentially say like, hey, Tom Brady is mid. And you know, I felt like this was the place to do it. I've been talking about it at length in my life here in the Midwest.
And his response was?
He just kind of scoffed and laughed and was
scoffed.
He was scoffed, and he was polite about it, but you could tell his earth had shattered a little bit.
Well, you were talking about Tom Brady's looks.
Yeah, but I didn't.
But you didn't make that clear. So that guy thinks that you think Tom Brady was a mid-level quarterback having won more Super Bowls than anyone of all time.
That's
and
right.
he is, I assume he is walking around Boston smoking cigarettes. His entire life has fallen apart that somebody would have the audacity to say that to him in his home state.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Well, it was an opportunity and you take it. And you don't over-explain yourself. So
Well done.
thank you.
All right. Anything else in Boston you want to talk about?
I do. So the Aerosmith hotel or Aerosmith apartment is there. And I was turned on to this. Obviously, I knew Aerosmith got their start in Boston, suburbs of it. But I didn't realize that there was an Aerosmith apartment where most of the guys stayed before they were propelled into the fame of which we know now. And there is a music history organization in Boston for the entire New England coast, I guess, where it talks about the music history and different little spots that different people stayed. And so they have a plaque on this kind of low-end apartment that says the Aerosmith apartment, and it talks about their history there. And I thought, well, I got to go see that.
Was it in like a shitty part of town?
Kind of, yeah. I would say so. It was, we came from Boston proper. We were kind of in the outskirts, how every city has it. It's just kind of a shittier part of town. And I felt fine. It was my people.
What did you find yourself thinking about when you sat beneath the plaque? Because I would be thinking about all the boning that happened up in that apartment.
I thought about the drugs. I thought about drug use. I didn't really think about the sex that was happening. I mainly thought about how smelly it probably was because it was just all these guys with long hair.
You never hear good stories about young rock bands keeping they're like, you know what? They cleaned up after themselves.
Yeah, that never happens.
Steven didn't like crumbs on the counter. It's usually like they tore the toilet out and peed in the hole for 6 months.
Right.
So I would imagine it was probably a pretty gross place, but also a lot of drugs. I would imagine even early on, they're probably getting it in Boston.
Oh, for sure.
They're probably getting their fair share.
I would hope so. They were so cute when they're still cute. But yeah, I thought about that. And then I thought, who's living there now? Who lives in the actual apartment? And are they an Aerosmith fan? Like, I so wanted to actually buzz up and go and talk to the person that lives there.
How many people have? I wonder if they are annoyed by it. If they started hating Aerosmith because they...
Yeah.
You would have to, if you rent that apartment, you have to know.
Yes, I would hope so.
You have to want that, right?
Yes, I would hope so.
It can't just be some like Pakistani guy that's like, who the fuck is this Aerosmith?
No,
like,
it can't be that.
Time.
It has to be somebody who wants to feel the energy that band left in those walls.
Right.
And I'm big on that. I think when people, the whole reason
don't
we went to
throw a black
Salem.
light on that apartment.
Oh my God, no. Please hope that it's been painted and that the floors have been ripped out, or not. I mean, I don't know. Would it be cooler if they didn't update it at all and it has stayed this time capsule in itself? That would be sweet.
Hey, this is Steven Tyler's jizz stain right here. Okay,
DNA testing has shown.
We didn't need the tour, but thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So Aerosmith was cool.
Yeah, it was very short.
Did you resist the urge to buzz up?
Yeah.
How close were you?
I was pretty close. And then I thought, I don't want to be that guy.
I'm actually proud of you for the restraint.
Thank you. I also figured it would be a disappointment. It's not going to be somebody that would give a shit, and it would be sad. So I thought, no, I will take, because I have a photo that I found online when Steven Tyler, when they did the placking of that place, he showed up that night and they took a photo. They did like a 60 Minutes thing on him. And he was sitting right on those stoop. He had walked up and down those stairs a million times. And I just thought, that is so neat to me.
What if you found out after the fact Joe Perry just lived there?
I would die.
Because what better place to hide in plain sight? If you wanted to be an Aerosmith member from Boston and be like, no one would ever suspect that I would live in the old shitty apartment with a plaque in front of it.
Right.
And if you'd have just rung that bell, Joe and Steven come walking down.
I've already met Joe Perry, though. If it were Steven, I would have.
You'd lose your mind.
I would lose my freaking mind.
I think that's one of those people that I don't know if could be a normal human being.
No, and he wouldn't be normal either. We're both Aries. I feel like he has been a spirit in my world my entire life. Literally, when I found out that Liv Tyler, that was her dad, and their story, I remember being a little kid going,
you want to test?
I wanted to go, I think he's my dad too. And, and my mom kind of played it up with me as a 80s and 90s kid. She was like, yeah, that's your dad, or whenever it was when Liv Tyler finally found out. Whatever that Get a Grip album, I think it was 93. And the music videos came out for like Crazy and Crying, and she was in them. I remember being like,
why can't I be in this?
Why can't I be best friends with Alicia Silverstone? Yeah.
You could have been in Lord of the Rings.
I could have been.
If Jill would have just Bone Steven.
Listen, I got to meet Joe Perry and his wife, Billy, and she told me I was beautiful. Then John Bonham's son, Jason Bonham, I had to pick him up at a hotel one time. And he told me after the second time meeting him that my demeanor and Liv Tyler's demeanor are very similar. And I thought, this is...
Unprompted, or were you
Unprompted.
asking?
Unprompted. I did have dark hair at the time.
Do you know Liv? Would you say we're a lot alike? And he's like, yeah, you guys are a lot alike. And you're like, and now you tell the story of like, he just told me I was just like her. Out of the blue,
I
just
had my
said it to me.
Brown hair extensions in, and I don't know, I have a longer face. So anyway, it was one of the best, top 10 compliments of all time.
That's
that,
huge.
Okay?
If that was unprompted,
it was,
put
I
that
promise.
in your pocket forever.
I do. That's why I'm talking about it very pathetically in 2025.
Congratulations. Can we get I want a close-up freeze frame, bottom of the thing, Liv Tyler's energy.
It's right here. She probably doesn't
We'll get it in post. Okay, so that's Boston. Anything else interesting in Boston we glazed over?
No, I mean, it was good.
Because you weren't there long. Your flight was delayed.
Our flight was delayed, and honestly, we just wanted to, like, get through it. I felt like I was Meg Ryan in, like, You've Got Mail, or When Harry Met Sally, or one of those, like, Meg Ryan movies where it's the fall. Yeah. I felt like I was her walking on the streets of Boston because it was just so cute. It was, like, brick streets, these little markets, everything just felt cozy. And I thought, this is how Meg Ryan feels all the time.
Was there a lot of historic stuff there? I've never been. Weirdly, it's one of those cities I've never done comedy in. Probably because it's so close to New York, they don't need comics there. Like New York comics can make that. Philly's like that too. So, and then Philly's got a ton of like historical shit because it's one of the first cities. Did Boston have that vibe?
Yes. There was a lot of bronzed men in parks.
Yes.
And you got Boston University right downtown, Harvard right there. It felt historic. And also the architecture is beautiful. And so you're in the big city with skyscrapers, but then there would be these old buildings that have been preserved.
Does it feel a little haunted?
Yeah.
Philly felt a little haunted when I was there.
Yeah, like Paul Revere is going to like run through or something. I don't know. I don't even know if he went to Boston, but I felt like...
He didn't go to Boston College, but he lived there.
Did he?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I could feel his energy in the streets.
Paul fucking Revere.
Paul fucking Revere.
Okay. So
why haven't you ever been to Boston? You just never had any interest?
I've just never been, like a lot of the cities I go to are cities that I get booked in.
Oh.
I've just never, it isn't like my top 10 vacation city. I always figured I'd make it there like in comedy. And then that's kind of like a free, like when I went to Philly with Kanane, I got to like walk around Philly and kind of get the Philly experience. So I'll get there.
Get there. It's unassuming, and I liked it.
So it didn't feel like a New York. It didn't feel as like...
It did feel... It felt like little New York. A more digestible New York City.
Did you go to Cheers?
I saw it, and I wanted to go, but all the people in my Uber with me were like, no. And I'm like, great.
I would have went.
My mom had gone. She's like, it's not very impressive. And my sister didn't even know what Cheers was because she's too young.
She didn't know what Big Daddy was. I'm still kind of reeling from that
I know.
a little bit.
It's upsetting. She's
the fact that you had a poster in your room and she never took the time to be like, let's see what Big Sis's fuss is all about.
I know.
She doesn't play, dude. Okay, so now let's get down to the real deal.
Yeah.
The spooky part.
Well, let's talk
Swampscott.
Taking the train from Boston to Swampscott. And I've never been on a train like that. And it was really cool.
What was different about it? Like, this wasn't Metro? This wasn't
no,
like
it wasn't Amtrak. It was like, it was older. It was an older train that has been utilized just for commuters for a long time. And it was personal. It felt like a poem or something. I don't know. It was very cool.
Oh, what would that poem sound like?
It was just, I don't know. It was like, there were like brown seats. And it was like, it was just beautiful. It was like very, very Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
Felt like Clem.
Yeah. And I felt like that was haunted too. I felt like everything was haunted. Like Boston, the train.
Train's haunted.
I loved.
You told the guy on the train, like, you know what John Bonham told me one time? I have Liv Tyler's energy. And he's like,
yeah. And they're like, get off our train.
Shut the fuck up, lady. So the train wasn't like Metro here.
No.
It
classy.
felt a little.
It was like, but it was rustic. It wasn't over the top. It was used, but it was not like here. It, like there were actually cushion seats.
Edit that out.
What is that?
That's my fat ass in this chair crushing this plastic chair.
Okay.
We're going to edit that out, everybody. I just said I hit my goal weight for my birthday, and I'm fucking, this chair is like going to explode if I move.
Why do we have these shitty chairs? Why do we have these Barbie
great chairs? They're great chairs. Josh bought these chairs.
Oh, God.
I don't get any studio time if you keep talking about chairs. Chairs are great.
The fuck? Anyway.
So you're on the train.
So we're on the train.
You're Clementine.
I'm Clementine. I'm sitting in one row. My sister's behind me. My mom's behind her. And there's like a woman with a golden retriever. It's so cute. It's just.
I saw the golden retriever.
It was so cute. And I'm like, I kept going, I could live here. This is my energy. This is my vibe. Everywhere I go now, I'm like, can I see myself here?
I do that when I'm on vacation.
Yes.
I could fucking buy a house
This
here,
is
dude.
my next level.
I could live in Utah. And then I'm like, I don't think so. When I get home, it wears off usually. But there's a couple places that have stuck.
Yeah. Well, so we take about a 20-minute train from Boston to Swampscott. You know, there's maybe 4 stops in between. And I booked this VRBO in Swampscott because I didn't have the money or the patience to get Salem proper because this time of year it's all sold out like a year in advance. And we planned this a year in advance, and we still didn't get in the zip code.
I would imagine Salem, Massachusetts between September 15th and November 15th is nuts.
It is.
Because it is the season of the witch.
It is.
And they know they can make money on it. So it's going to be longer than just a month of October.
Yeah. So
Were you glad you didn't stay there? Because you said it was pretty bananas.
It was bananas. I am glad we stayed at Swampscott because it was an added experience, and I felt like it was a nice reprieve from the chaos of Boston and the chaos of Salem. Like the 2 different things, like a city booming and then the season of the witch energy from Salem this time of year. Swampscott is a sleepy little coastal town, fisherman's town, where we got off, we got to the train station in Swampscott, and our place we were staying was maybe a 15-minute walk, and I'm walking through it, and it's just it reminded me a lot of Beetlejuice, even though that's kind of weird to say. Cool. I don't know. I think that takes place in Vermont. I was going to ask if it felt like the Truman Show. No, it felt like Beetlejuice, the movie, like in the little town with like the covered bridge and just the little homes and things. And
that's cool.
I loved it. And and I didn't know what to expect. You book online and you don't know if the house is going to be great or not. And we walk up, and it's a block away from this little downtown main street that was beautiful and had cool restaurants and coffee shops and little stores. And then the ocean is right there. And these $1 million homes, like I looked it up how much they were. They all cost around $6 million.
Dude, my favorite thing to do is just Zillow the area around me and be like, who the fuck are these people?
Yes.
And could I be one of them?
Right. What do you do for money?
Right.
Take me to your leader. So we check in, and we did not stay in like $1 million home. This was a home that they had renovated to be an apartment up top and an apartment in the bottom. And it was nice though. We walk in and it's very airy, AC off because that ocean breeze is coming in, and it's a 2-bedroom. My mom stayed in the primary. We gave her that queen. And then my sister and I were in the 2nd bedroom that had 2 twin beds. And then I've not slept in a twin bed. When's the last time you slept in a twin bed?
It's been a while, but on vacation.
Really?
Like getting the shitty room in an Airbnb.
Yes.
Like bunk beds. Mm-hmm. We did bunk beds one time. So I was on the bottom, she was on the top.
I've done that.
So you guys were sleeping like a
I felt
1950s sitcom couple.
Yes, I felt like Goldilocks in the bears' beds because I'm short and my feet were like hanging off this thing. So pretty good stuff, but a great mattress. And it was like an old mattress, so you like sunk in pretty good. But we check in, and it's an old house, real creaky, kind of weird setup, haunted ass basement. Had to do laundry down there because I'm one of these freaks that does laundry on vacation. And I
do that. I pack light.
Yeah, I want to like reuse things, and I don't want to come home with like a dirty bundle of clothes. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, I had to go down in that basement. It might as well have been the damn Conjuring movie because it looked terrifying down there, which added to my excitement. And so that was later. That was like on Saturday night.
You were enjoying this.
I was, but I was also like hissing as I came up the stairs because I felt like the little basement monster was going to eat my ass as I like ran up the stairs. Yeah. So I was like,
we had haunted people on while you were gone on the Rizz Show.
Really?
And they said the same thing at a haunting. She's like, I talk to myself when I'm by myself in these haunted places. Everyone does that. Like that's going to repel ghosts. I think it's to break the silence.
It is.
So we won't be startled by sounds. But like if I get creeped out in the basement, I'll also be like, well, I guess I'm going to go upstairs. Get my fucking baseball bat. Played fucking 4 years varsity. Boxed for a little while. Right. Like I'm like the ghost is going to be frightened by my physical prowess.
Oh, see, I'm talking directly to the ghost. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I'm like, I know you're down here. I know you're down here. Yeah. I'm like, I'm
Do you
in
know
your
what
space.
Bonham said about me one time, Ghost? That I had Liv Tyler's energy. Do you want to kill Liv Tyler's energy?
No. So that was cool. And then we decided to pack it up and take the train up to Salem.
Yeah.
And have a little day trip up to Salem, or a little
Nothing else.
afternoon.
Nothing else about Swampscott.
Not at that time. The next day we kind of explored more. Sunday before we flew home in Swampscott, I told my mom, I said, look, I really want to get up early. I want to get a coffee at that little coffee shop.
And then you were on the beach. It looked cool.
Yeah, and I was like, and I want to just drink my coffee in my pajamas on the beach and listen to the seagulls.
It was cool to see pictures of the beach because I feel like being from Missouri, every beach photo I see is in Destin. It's like the sandy beaches of the Gulf
The
Coast.
white sand, yeah.
So like seeing like that Nordic northeastern where it feels like it's brisk and cold, like you're walking on the beach and it's chilly and there's seagulls and you probably maybe have a sweater on. Yeah, you had some cool Adam Sandler shorts on and that.
Yeah, I had my Adam Sandler Bender meets Eddie Vedder outfit on.
Very nice.
Which was not the plan, but I thought this is just who I am and I don't care anymore. And, my mom and my sister didn't want to go get sandy on the beach. And I was like, dude, anytime I'm near the ocean, my feet will hit that sand because
that's as far as you're going. You do not like open.
Yeah, I don't need to be out getting eaten by anything, but I like being on a beach. And I really didn't realize that till this year. I was at a funeral down in Florida and I hadn't seen the ocean in years. It had been a really long time. And it was the first time in my life, at that time, 39, where I thought, oh my God, I've missed this. I've missed seeing the ocean. That's such a beautiful part of our world that we just get used to not seeing in the Midwest. And yeah, you can go to the lake or whatever, but like the ocean is amazing. We do.
You stand on the banks of River de Pere and watch people's turds float by. It's pretty cool.
It is. Yeah, that's cool too, I guess. You're right. You know what? You're right. I should be more
be appreciative of what we have.
That's right.
Well, it was cool photos. I'm glad you went down to the beach because it is kind of neat to see those like little Nordic fishing towns where I'm imagining them putting out lobster traps. Like I imagine the captain or the guy that's on like the fish Nordic. What's the fish stick guy? Nordic.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Norton. All I'm thinking about is that I know what you did last summer with the guy.
It's that guy.
It's that guy.
That's my point. It's like the guy in the yellow hat. Like I imagine you saw like 10 of those guys in Swampscott.
I did. They could have been ghosts or fishermen, seamen. I don't know.
Semen, yes. Now we're back at the Aerosmith apartment again. Cool.
How many times can we mention semen in this episode?
Well, I mean, we're unfiltered. Let's go for it. Cool. Now let's...
So now we're on the train back to Salem, or going to Salem for the first time.
Juicy.
This is it. So again, kind of an empty train ride because we got up there at 3 p.m.
Okay.
And it was a 5-minute train ride. And actually our bartender and Swampscott that we got a cocktail at before we got on the train, I believe her name was Suzanne. She's like, don't pay for any tickets. She's like, don't buy the train tickets. Just get on the train. Go up there. They're not going to check their shit. She's like, and she was right. But I was a rule follower and I was like, I'm going to buy these tickets because they're like $1. I'm going to have them just in case the conductor comes through. And they didn't. So you can essentially take from Swampscott to Salem. Pro tip, they're not going to check you out, especially when there's 10 million people getting on the train. They're not coming by.
Same train?
Same train.
That you rode before?
Yes.
Okay.
So we get there and the train station in Salem, all of the vampires, the witches, the goths, the gays, everybody gets off the train and we are walking out and it is immediate. You are hit with a wall of Halloween just everywhere.
That's cool. I don't remember that fourth movie monster. Vampires, what was it? Vampires, witches, goths, and the gays.
And the gays. We're all there. It was amazing. Because people are just themselves. Like every walk is there. I loved it. And we walk up and we start seeing
so many women dressed like dream catchers, I imagine.
Every white woman looked like Stevie Nicks. Yeah. There were women dressed as like Elvira. I saw, BDSM chicks. Like, I mean, it was all out. It was like no filter, goth horror Halloween. It was amazing. And I felt very at home. And we walk up to the store and then I go into like ADHD mode because I don't have that, but I can get that way if I'm in a place where I'm overstimulated and there's too much to look at.
With things that you like.
With things that I like. So we go into this little witch store, knickknacks, cute clothes, like putting a pin in it because I'm like, I'm going to come back here later. Didn't want to spend all my money at the first shop I went in. And then we start walking around and they had they know that their people are in town, and so they do it upright. There's monsters, there's Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers characters, and
Like real people?
real people walking around just taking photos for
That's
tips.
sick. Oh.
It
wasn't like
you didn't have to tip.
it wasn't like the New York Spider-Man where it's like a sad guy.
No, it was
doesn't
like
look like
it was
like
cool.
a real chubby guy in a Spider-Man suit. That
No, they
like
look
smells
legit.
Like piss. Okay, good.
Yeah, it was legit. They have like the Michael Myers had the theme song on, so you could like hear it as you walk by him, and so there was kind of Disneyland in that way. And then every shop in that main strip, and I can't remember if it was Charter Street or which street it was, but they close it down, and so the people can just be walking everywhere, and they have and a lot of these stores are owned by actual witches, women and people that think that they are part of the lineage or that they have a history to Salem, or people that have moved there that are part of the occult. And so these are authentic, like some of them are extremely authentic shops, different than like here in St. Louis where you go and it's kind of like somebody who had an idea. This is like they are deeply invested in the history, and they could be part of the family of the deceased, and
That's sick.
they're keeping it going, and that was really cool. I went to a place called Nocturne, which is where my money came out the first time. This store was so freaking cool. It just had like neat jewelry, spell water, different things, hexes, like it was awesome. And the women that worked there were
Checks anybody?
what?
Did you hex anybody?
I did not. I didn't want to have that energy
Look
yet.
me in the eye and tell to say that. You looked away. Did you
I
hex
did not
anybody?
hex anyone.
All right.
Wanted to, but didn't. No, I was actually kind of weirded out. There was a part of me that
Felt a little too real?
felt a little too real. Like Friday night after we left
I
Salem.
had a place like that in New Orleans, but
Okay,
so
you'll
I know
be
how
able-
you feel. Like I went in and I'm going, I think this is like, you might really be cursing people in here.
Well, also that first night in Salem, we had dinner at, there's a place called The Babe. My mom had booked a restaurant called The Babe, real cute spot, kind of on the south side of Salem. And before we went there, we went to a place called Stardust, which was a gift shop that was also one of these very real places. And we walk in and there was a cute shop dog, off the beaten path, dark, hardly any windows. We walk in, there's a baby in a nursery in the back room, just willy-nilly. And
A real baby?
yeah. And it was the shop owner's baby. And it was the shop owner's dog. But the shop owner wasn't there. She was out giving tours of Salem. And I was like, okay. And then they had a phone that you pick up.
Who was with the baby?
The shop workers, like the people
okay.
that work there with her. And there was a room where you can buy all these crystals. And they had different sandalwoods and different things you could buy in there. But they also had an old school rotary phone that you'd pick up, and there was a shit ton of money on this dresser, and there was a mirror. And the whole thing was you pick up the phone and you were to talk to the dead. So if you have a dead loved one or somebody that you'd like to communicate with, they hold a ritual on the weekends where they send the messages of people that pick up the phone and say it into the telephone. They will then send the messages out to the universe or to the afterlife to the people.
Are they recording it?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know how. It's magic. I don't know how it works.
Okay.
But I picked up the phone and I called my dad and I was like telling him some things, and I put $1 down because there was like, and that's the coolest thing ever. They know that if you steal from this place, you're going to be screwed. Like
Yeah.
on
It's
your
like
life.
when you take stuff from the petrified forest.
Yes. You're not supposed to do that.
No, people send it back because they get cursed.
Yes. Same vibe here.
So you picked
A
it up
ton
and
of
talked to
money.
your dad? Do you do it privately?
No, my mom was there and my sister, and I was just like, hey, I miss you and I love you and I wish I could like see you in a dream. And so I hung it up. And so now I'm kind of waiting to see if Greg shows up in
Well, you
a
won't
dream.
know until after the weekend. It didn't get
Yeah.
sent out.
Yeah,
so.
it got sent out like probably yesterday.
So maybe tonight.
Maybe tonight. So as we left and we went to eat at the Babe and did the patio, they had good food. Then we took an Uber back to Swampscott just to be fast about it. We don't want to wait for the train. And we get home and we watched Where the Heart Is, which is a movie that my mom and I and my sister really love.
Natalie Portman?
Natalie
Is that the
Portman.
one where she lives in Walmart?
Yeah, she has a baby in Walmart. We love that movie. Anyway, we watch it. We
You guys
watch
are
that.
watching movies that have nothing to do with the holidays, the
Well,
Halloween season. You
we
guys
did-
are watching Big Daddy and Where the Heart Is, which has a baby in Walmart.
We did watch
You're like, then
Practical
we watched
Magic.
It's a Wonderful Life. It was really great.
No, we watched Practical Magic the next night. But we
I sorry, so you have to be fully leaning into the Owens family at this point, right?
oh yeah, I mean we are the Owens family. We're midnight margaritas. My sister and I cut each other's hands and slap them, and that's our like bond. My mom is like the third sister, even though she's our mom. So we go back, and my sister and I, everybody goes to bed, And I'm lying there and I start kind of getting in my head about some things. And I'm like,
no,
I am in a space that I've always wanted to be in. And I believe so much of this stuff. I like really do. I feel, and it's, everybody makes fun of me and whatever, and that's fine because I think people are scared shitless. I believe it so much, and I believe it's just on the same level as everything is. Religion, the occult, all the stuff is
it has
of the
just
same.
as much proof.
It does. It does.
If not more.
And so that energy has weight. And so I start thinking, oh my God, I'm in a space where, you know, I talk a big game about loving all this and having crystals, and I got my cats, and I very much live that witchy lifestyle. I felt like, I'm going to be like, I'm undeserving to be here. And I don't want them to think I'm trying to exploit something that is very real to this area and to the history. And who knows if, you know, Sarah Good was a witch and like was really doing some shit and the soil is haunted, you know? So I start going into my head about that. And I'm like, I'm going to see something. It's going to freak me out. And then, then I like
Beetlejuice. Hey,
seriously,
Lauren,
I felt
calm the fuck down. Seriously, just have a good time.
I seriously started thinking it. And then I finally fell asleep, and then it was really cool. And this is the kind of emo side of this trip. This is the emo side. Something flipped. Something for me emotionally, psychologically, spiritually flipped the next day. And I can't explain what happened to me. But we went back to Salem on Saturday morning. And before that, I woke up at 8 and I thought, oh my God, I got to get tickets to the witch house because the Essex witch house is like where everybody wants to go. And so you have to get tickets day of. Lucked out, got the last 3 tickets for the 10 a.m.
Synchronicity.
showing.
Bam.
Synchronicity, got it. So I tell everybody, I'm like, get ready, we're leaving. So we all get done up. We head back on the train to Salem. We arrive at the Ropes Mansion, where is right next door. There's like the witch house, the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Salem, which is actually really cool. And then right next door to that is the Ropes Mansion, which is Allison's house in Hocus Pocus, okay? And behind, what they don't tell you about the Ropes Mansion is behind it.
It's the actual Hocus Pocus house that they filmed in?
Yes, that they filmed her stuff in.
Cool.
Or at least the outside. In the back, there is the most beautiful garden that's ever existed. It is so garden goals for every person that ever loves flowers. So beautiful, old trees. I mean, I felt like I was in a movie. And we're walking back there. Then we walk over to the witch house, and we're the first in the door for the witch house that day. And it's a small tour. It's maybe 10 people at one time. And so we get in, and it's a self-guided tour. You walk around and you look at things like artifacts from that time. So you see like a shoe of one of the people who was accused. So you see like an old shoe from like the 1600s, which is incredible to see. Like I was blown away that this has made it all this time, that it never got just buried or it's thrown in the trash or whatever. You see that.
You're like, I didn't know Nike was around back then.
I know. It was crazy. And so then they have like old furniture, obviously. You see how their beds looked back then, and they were stuffed with hay. And then you start looking at some of the little crazy witchcraft things, which they have something called skull moss, which...
Yeah, tell me about that. That freaked me out.
It freaks me out too. So skull moss is when you would put a skull, like say somebody was
Is this
killed.
one of the photos you had prepped?
I do, yeah.
Excellent.
Let's say that you have a person who was dead and their skull is rotting. So I'm going to read this to you. So skull moss, a common belief amongst the centuries of practitioners is that a criminal dying a violent death provides exceedingly powerful ingredients for corpse medicine, particularly in the act of hanging, was believed to force the vital spirits into the skull, lasting for 7 years. If they left the skull exposed in the air long enough, the skulls would grow a kind of moss. And then that was highly valued as an agent against bleeding. So if you'd get a nosebleed back in these days, they would take this skull moss and they would shove it up their noses to deal with like nosebleeds.
Looks like a loofah.
It looks like a loofah.
That's a skull loofah.
That's wild.
That's a head loofah.
So that was one of the things. Also, they talked about using snakes for witchcraft to like rid different things. There was also the powdered bones of men. Take of men's bones burnt, sugar, it's essentially like a cake. Exceptional purge for those whose bodies are troubled with the wind and stoppage of guts or kidneys. 2 drams taken in white wine will work sufficiently in any normal body. So they would grind the bones of men and put the bones of men, cocaine form, into different
constipated?
potions. Yeah, and like use it as a way to poop or to,
Ducalax.
Do something.
Okay.
They also used to make something, I don't have a picture of this, but it was like pea cake where...
I've been bound up enough before I'd have tried that.
Would you? I mean, it's originally where Tums came from, which is the St. Louis
I saw
company.
Tums is just grinded up bones of men. A lot of people don't know that. That's a St. Louis company. You heard it here first.
You heard it here
Rizz
first.
Show After Hours. Tums is selling you grinded up men's bones. If you've ever bitten into one of those chalky bastards,
Yeah.
you know that's
they're
exactly what you're
delicious.
eating. And they're good for you, and they're delicious, especially the red ones. I like the pink ones.
They are. So that was really cool to see some of that witchcraft type of examplage, that's a word, in the flesh like that, or at least read about it and see like a bottle that maybe they found that there was the grinded bones of men in. I mean, that's just crazy that was so long ago and that these things were happening.
Yeah, I feel like you were I imagined you as like the kid in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Like you were in your element.
I was,
to where all these things, because I want to circle back and ask you something. You said you felt weird the night before. Why did you feel weird the night before? Did you feel like you were being a tourist and not a traveler? And that you were like, because you believed in this stuff and because you really do like believe in magic and Wiccan and things like that, that you were making a joke of it? Like, what made you feel weird? Like, it
was like imposter syndrome. It was like, I'm here, and like these women went through, like I was thinking about some of the women's names that come to mind, like Sarah Osborne or Sarah Good or Tituba. Like, I think I'm saying her name correctly. Like, these women actually went through some shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? They were part of the women that were either burned or hanged or killed because of their beliefs and the history of that, the accused, and like going back, and I don't know all of the history, but just from what I have read and from what I've learned in school and just having the respect for it, I did not want to come at it from a disrespectful place because I feel like some people do. I feel like some people come to it in a place where like, yeah, I'm going to dress up like a witch and we're going to just have the best time and we're not going to think about
it's cosplay.
Yeah. And I took it very seriously, and it was a respect thing. And I did not go to Proctor's Ledge, which is where just in 2016 they decided that this place in the middle of this suburb or this subdivision was the actual place where people were hung. Mm-hmm. And they just recently put a dedication up for the women and some men that were there. I believe it's 19 people altogether. And I decided I didn't want to go to that because I didn't want to Uber there and just like take a picture and just make it a thing. I was like, you know what? Big thumbs up. I wanted to have a little bit more sincerity about it. And so I was kind of conflicted that Friday night. I was like, am I being disrespectful by not going and paying my respects? Like I couldn't figure out what I was thinking. And then on Saturday, like going through the witch house, and really the freakiest part about it was I smelt such a weird smell. I've never smelled death before. When people say like the corpse flower smells like death, like you and I tried to go and smell that damn flower at Botanical Gardens and it was freaking not open. It was like, I wanted to know that smell, and because like I kind of wanted to know before I went to this tour. I don't know, it was weird, and I smelt death. I smelt like the actual death in the witch house,
and no one else smelled this.
And nobody else smelled it. I asked my mom, I go, "Do you smell how gross that is?" I was like, "No, it just smells like an old house." Yeah.
How long you been with her?
So that was weird to me, and so that freaked me out a little bit. That I was the only person that was smelling that.
Do you think that was like do you think that that's a sign that you're like more
intuitive,
sensitive, or intuitive to those types of things?
I didn't even have the audacity to.
Or do you think you conjured it?
I didn't know what it was, and I was actually a little afraid of it. I was like, because they tell you smell like sulfur if the devil's around, or if you smell like a weird smell, sometimes that's a demon.
Deviled eggs is what they could be the devil, or deviled eggs if you smell sulfur. But
didn't think about that. But I felt weird about that, and I was very, I was having some weird thoughts with that, but again, it was like coming from a respect. I'm like, hey man, like I'm not here to impose. I'm just here to absorb.
Please, demons, don't get in me.
Yeah, don't.
I'm here.
I'm just here.
I'm here out of respect.
Yeah.
So what flipped the next day? You said the next day something flipped. Did you just feel like you talked yourself off the ledge of feeling like you were?
I felt like
didn't deserve to be there.
This
or
is
whatever?
what changed. So after the witch house, we left. After 30 minutes or 40 minutes or whatever, we had an appointment to go down the street to a place called Ascend, where we had booked online to get our auras taken a photo of. This is all the rage. And my sister both wanted to go with me. We both had the idea. And I said, well, we're definitely doing that. We both really want to see what our auras look like. And what you do is you go into this shop, and there's this back room, and there's a ton of people lined up for this. Excuse me. And you get in there, and you're sitting on it looks like an electric chair almost. And you put your hands on these metal plates that are cut out in the shape of a hand. And you hold still for like a beat. You can't move.
Is this the thing that's projecting your aura?
Yeah, it's sending the electrical stuff through you to project it onto this Polaroid that is being taken. But it's not a Polaroid. It's it's a different type of film.
Does it take a long time, like the old-timey thing where they go into the hood and they go like, phew.
Yeah,
you got to sit? It did, for real?
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
She basically took a Civil War picture.
A Civil War photo.
But of your aura.
And so I'm sitting there like that, and I'm keeping my face straight. And then after, my mom went after me and my sister as well. And then then you go into this room with a person who works at this shop, who is a psychic or a medium, somebody in that spiritual industry. And she will give you a interpretation of your aura. And so you don't see the photos until you go into that room, okay? Mm-hmm. And so I was the first one to go. So she turned mine around, and it was very multicolored. And she described me. And so she said, I have 5 spirit guides. And this was significant because the night before, when I was spiraling and ruminating, okay, I was also thinking about spirit guides. And so this was interesting. I was thinking about how I don't connect with them as much as I used to whenever I was a kid, because I remember I would had like a spirit guide when I was growing up that I would think about all the time. Mm-hmm. My dad's dead. My grandmas are dead. I think about my dad all the time, but I don't always feel him with me. And I've had a lot of sadness around like, oh, are my spirit guides not with me? And this was significant.
You were thinking that the night before?
Yes.
Okay.
So she says, you have 5 spirit guides, and these little white orbs that you can't really see.
I can see them
she
very
says,
clearly.
You have 5 people with you at all times.
That's what those are?
Yeah.
The orbs?
Yes. And she said they are with you all the time. And she goes, you've been working on yourself, and they know that you want to check in. And that was crazy, because I was thinking about it the night before, and then she's like, they want you to know that they are there, and you've been curious about that. So she knew that, and that was freaking me out, okay? So the green part on my tummy is... the green part means balanced, loving, and harmonious, but it also is me doing self-work, and that's how she knew I've been working on myself. And trust me, I've been working on myself so hard in these last couple of years that it's a freaking nightmare. I
can vouch for that. A lot of office talks, there's a lot of self-work.
Freaking mess.
I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
It's very hard to do.
The yellow or the gold and the orange is confident, playful, generous, creative, expressive, and productive. And she was really concentrating on, she goes, you're a very creative person. She goes, what do you do for a living? And I told her, and I said, I also have a band, and I paint, and I write. She's like, oh, yeah. She's like, you need to just continue to be doing all of that. I was like, oh, my God. Then she talked about my intuition and how thoughtful I am. I mean, I'm reading the back of these because it tells you the colors. Sure. Like thoughtful, intuitive, communicative. And I go, yeah, I communicate for a living. And she was talking about how, and this was so sweet. She said, my warmth warms up others, and like my energy is contagious to others. And I've had other people tell me that in life.
Yeah.
So it was very sweet to hear these beautiful things being said about myself. And I needed it. And I feel like that also helped shift my spiritual experience through all of this. I was like, God, because I was moved. I was crying. I was crying hearing. I did. I got really choked up. I cried because I needed to hear some of the things that this woman was telling me. I was also so proud that this was that this is what I'm like exuding, because that's all I want to exude. And I'm like, God, that just made me, it made me feel validated. And for somebody that like lacks some self-worth sometimes, feels really good to hear those things.
Well, we've had that conversation privately and personally about, like, I always tell you, I wish you'd save a little rainbow for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you do exude and make people feel good and make people feel supported and loved and gas people up. And then sometimes I think your gas tank's empty when you got to gas yourself up. So
it was really cool to hear. And I got to sit in there. So my sister went next, and I was telling this story earlier on the show, but my sister doesn't believe in this stuff as much as I do.
Sure.
And so she comes into it with a really realistic point of view. But hers was
a good thing to have that person with you, though.
Oh yeah, and
that's
this was
like your canary in a coal mine of like reeling you back in.
Yeah, she was like, "Listen, lady, don't fly up to the moon." but hers was all blue. So whereas I had like a ton of color, Emily's was all dark and blue. And that was really interesting because it was all intuition and talking about that she speaks very honestly and that she is very open and blunt. And she really is. She's a lawyer. And then the thing that freaked me out the most, though, she said, there was a man who recently died in your life that was very close to you, and he is one of your spirit guides. And because she had 4. And I was like, oh my God, it's Uncle Larry, because he just died on her birthday last year. That shit rocks my world. I'm like, I love.
It does. I wish you'd held a little closer to the vest, because today when we talked about it, I was like, I'm like, you led the witness a little bit.
No, I did not lead the witness.
Where the lady's like, someone died recently, and you go, oh my God, it's Larry. She's like, yes, his name is Larry.
No, she didn't. It wasn't that in deep.
Okay,
but,
good.
There was no leading. I mean, there's no way. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Larry passed away on my sister's birthday, which was very hard. I mean, that's really terrible for your favorite uncle to die on your birthday. And I think, but I also told Emily when he passed, I said, I think that's significant. I think Larry wants you to always think of him. And he always wants to be with you. And he just decided to leave the earth on your day. And like that, to me, I looked at that and I was warmed by that.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I'm passed. So anyway, that was neat. And then my mom's was blue and mostly yellow and orange. And she has a lot of warmth and calmness to her. My mom was laughing about that because she's a real chaotic person. And she's like, I don't calm anybody down. We're all very type A. And but I go, no, you do calm. I'm like, you calm me down. Like having my mom around.
You guys have some traits that are similar.
Yeah. Like I love her so much and she's
There's like a love and
loving,
sincerity. You guys both have like a loving and sincere demeanor.
Yes. I get that from her.
So that's and I think that's a quality.
So anyway, that was really cool. And I felt different. I felt like I woke up.
After the aura reading, that's when it flipped for you?
Yeah, like after I fell asleep on Saturday night, because we stayed in Salem just long enough. We didn't stay till the evening. I mean, we walked 20,000 steps a day. I mean, we were exhausted. Mm-hmm. We got as much in as we could. We saw everything we wanted to.
Who do you think your 5 spirit guides are?
I was thinking about that. So, and they don't have to be dead. They can be people that are like alive, that are with you spiritually. I mean, I was thinking about
Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler's one of, no, I was like my dad, my grandma Imogene.
I would agree on those 2 for sure.
And then I was kind of like running my brain about some things. I mean, I've had some friends that have passed that I think could be around. I mean, but I also don't know. I'm like, I know 2 of them for sure, but I don't know who the other 3 are. And I'm kind of interested in that. And so it made me feel really good and protected. And
do you have any guesses? Or is it something you want to keep private?
I want to keep it private.
Okay.
It blew my mind. It made
really
me feel
this interview.
really cool. Yeah, I know. Sorry. I mean, nobody gives a shit.
It's okay.
Nobody's
I give a shit. That's why I'm asking.
Nobody's going to know. You're not going to know the people that I name anyway. These are people that are gone.
I know who Bill Clinton is. Okay.
Listen, it's not Bill. Trust.
All right. So that's when it flipped for you, when you saw your aura and you wept in front of a stranger.
Yes.
And
typical Saturday.
Screamed, that's Uncle Larry, and everything flipped.
But I will say this, because I think people that are maybe curious about going to Salem or watching this, and they're like, they don't probably care about all my personal stuff. Don't stay in Salem. Stay outside of it. Yeah. Go see some of these little towns. Take the train. It's a safe community. It's good eats. It's good drinks. It's good fun. I had when's the last time that you had a eclair?
It's been a while.
Cream-filled.
I'm open to it.
Chocolate on top, French eclair.
In Boston, too. That's that's
Boston cream. Yes. Yeah. God, it was so good.
You had one?
Had one. In Salem. Delicious. Highly suggest.
You had a haunted donut.
Yeah. Had a glass strawberry. I mean, there were so many good things to
what's a glass strawberry?
Glass strawberry is where they melt sugar and they put a bunch of, like on a kebab, it's like 4 or 5 strawberries, and they melt a sugar into like a glaze.
Okay.
Because it's so hot. And then they bring it up and then they let the sugar dry and harden. And it's just...
That's the sexiest thing I've heard in a while.
I'm talking like it melts in your mouth, explosion. Mother.
Josh, I'll start at one end, you start at the other.
Yeah, Lady the Tramp.
That's what I want for my birthday. I want to start at one end of glass strawberry kebab, you at the other end until our lips touch in the middle.
It was so good. So I ate good food.
No.
I had a great time. It was a lifetime. I had always wanted to go. Finally went at 40. We'll go back again if I ever want to, need to.
I feel like this lived up to the hype for you.
It did.
I
and
was
that's
excited
so
for you
great.
because I was like, I feel like the worst thing that could have happened for me as your friend was for you to go there gassed up about it and be like, it fucking sucked. It was a tourist trap.
Right.
Nothing was cool about it. Nothing was real about it. And it sounds like you did not have that experience.
And I also didn't realize that I would have like a soul-changing experience. I woke up yesterday feeling the best I've felt mentally and spiritually in a long time. And I don't know if that's because of what I saw or just going on vacation and who I was with and just whatever.
It's probably all of it.
But I came home and like I told my husband, I was like, gave him the like entire play-by-play, and I just was like, I feel so good. I'm like, I have not felt good so long for different ways. And I'm like, I finally feel like I'm in a place mentally that I needed to be in and I deserve to be in. And that was a big moment. And that's kind of crazy. So that's like the tchotchke that I wasn't expecting to take home as far as an
better than any
artifact.
crystal.
It really is.
Better than any artifact is a feeling of peace.
It is.
And being nice to yourself about your self-worth and deserving to like have a cool experience and come home from it feeling recharged and good.
It was so great.
Was there any other, I know you said you saw the graveyards but didn't go in, but so there was headstones from like the 1600s.
Yeah.
Did it feel at night like the spirits were walking about and haunted?
It felt like Halloween. It was so neat. It was all the residential houses definitely go all out and have funky, cool things, or a witch house hanging from trees on sidewalks, and Michael Myers random little heads on posts to freak you out. Like you think it's a real man.
Leaning in.
Everyone is leaning in. I don't think you can live in Salem and not care about Halloween. And
you would have to move out.
You would. You'd be so annoyed because
I
don't think
one grumpy person who like refuses. Be like, no.
Yeah. I talked to so many locals too. We met some people and people are so open over there in Massachusetts. Very progressive, obviously. Talk to people.
The graveyard's fucking haunted.
Yeah, it's so great. And they were very honest. They're just honest people over there. And I appreciated the honesty and the cussing and the love and the food. It was just.
I feel like you have to be your true self.
Yes. I felt like am I from Massachusetts? Like I felt
you
like
are.
I was.
Well, you're
I don't
Steven
know.
Tyler's daughter.
Yes.
So you must be. Any other, I know you said you didn't have any other readings done, but those things are available there, right? We're talking,
Tons.
there has to be like so many fucking tarot.
Everywhere you go.
Palm, crystal ball, whatever
Medium,
you want.
Psychics, energy healers,
Per capita,
Reiki, all that.
Per capita, how many?
Every block.
Every block.
Every block. Some are more renowned than others that you can't get into. You got to book really well in advance. I didn't want to do it. My mom and my sister didn't have any interest in that, so I didn't want to make them wait. And I've done that a million times, and I've had really great experiences here in St. Louis with mediums and psychics that I didn't feel the need to continue to do that there. But if you've never done it, you want to go like top notch, I'm sure it's spectacular.
That's cool. Yeah. What, anything else that stood out? Like did you go back to the first gift shop and end up buying stuff there?
I didn't.
That always happens to me.
No, I didn't. I did not go back. In fact, there were cooler things along the way.
Good.
Yeah.
Because usually I'm like, I should have fucking bought the thing I liked at the first place. What did you buy? Did you bring anything home?
I did. At the witch house, my mom actually, she was very sweet. She was like, I'll buy you whatever you want. So I got a Christmas ornament that has the little witch house on it, made by a local artist. And then I got a tote bag. I got some lavender seed from Salem. I got some soaps, and that's pretty much it. I kind of traveled light. Didn't have a lot of space to take too much home, but that was enough for me. I'm excited about the lavender because I think it's probably not. It's probably just like store-bought lavender. It's fine. But it's like, I think in my head, it's from that garden that was behind the Ropes Mansion. That'd be really cool.
Ooh, a little lavender garden. You know what? Let's just say it is.
It is. I believe it is.
Is there anything else about your trip that I haven't asked you that is sticking in your mind that you would like to share with all the people who've been messaging and asking?
I do want to share one more weird thing that happened.
Yeah.
So this is kind of gross. This is a little TMI. Everybody prepare. I started my period the minute we got to Salem. That is significant because I wasn't supposed to start my period until like this week. So it could be the perimenopause.
You synced up with some ghosts.
I feel like I did.
You had a ghost period.
I had a ghost period.
You had a haunted period. You got a haunted ovary.
I do have a haunted ovary that is dying for real. Shout out to my left ovary that continues to have cysts.
What up, left ovary? Cyst it up.
But no, that was really cool too. And I was like, oh my God, what does it mean? So there was a lot of weird things that were happening to me mind, body, and soul, and I really enjoyed it. And nobody
love
on their
that.
period ever can say that. So.
Rarely would I say I love this, I love that you got your period early, but this is the one time I can say that and truly mean it as a friend. I'm
Thank
really
you.
glad that Aunt Flo came early
Had
and
bad
delivered
cramps,
the goods.
Got through it. It was great.
All right. Well, that's it. That is the extended
All right.
spooky Salem interview with Lern about her trip to Salem. Thank you for joining us here on Rizz Show After Hours and listening to
Here.
us casually cuss.
High five with your foot.
Like they do in Boston. High five with our feet. And we're out in 3, 2, 1. How long you been with her?